It's Friday, the 2nd of December 2022. Welcome to the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed, where we give you the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Michael Thompson, and good morning, Sean Aylmer.
Good morning, Michael.
Sean, 5 big stories today, 5 minutes. Let's jump into story number 1. House prices in the capital cities across the country fell by 1% last month and are now down nearly 7% from their highs, having experienced the steepest fall in 40 years.
Yes, rising mortgage rates are driving the fall in house prices, and given there's more rate rises in the offing, it's hard to see prices turning around anytime soon. There is some good news. The pace of decline last month, according to CoreLogic, is the slowest in 5 months. But as you said, 8 months in a row of falling prices. Now, how far will they fall? Well, AMP Chief Economist Shane Oliver is a pessimist. He says that they'll be down 15 to 20% from peak to trough. That's about twice as much as what they've done now. In fact, it's a fair bit more than that. The bottom of the market will come in the second half of next year. Sydney house prices continue to be the worst performers. They're down 11.4% from their peak. Brisbane's down 8%. Hobart's off a little less than that. Melbourne's at 7%. Canberra's about 6.5%, while Adelaide, Perth and Darwin are all down less than 1%. Regional prices are hurting as well, though, Michael. They're down about 6% from their highs.
All right, on to story number 2 now. And the Albanese government says that it's on track to achieve a 40% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions by 2030, which is, of course, below the target of 43%.
The government's 2022 emissions projection report was released yesterday, along with the climate change statement, both of which are required under Australia's new Climate Change Act. The report says Australia needs to move faster across the economy to reach the legislated target. The government also released independent advice from the Climate Change Authority, which said to achieve a 43% reduction by 2030 and net zero by 2050, the decarbonisation rate needs to be at least 17 million tonnes of carbon per year. That's about 40% faster than what's occurred since 2009, which means the deployment of solar, wind and hydro needs to happen much, much faster. In fact, 2 to 3 times faster than it has over the past decade.
Story number 3, Sean. Russian criminals who stole personal information from Medibank have dumped large files on the dark web filled with what's believed to be sensitive customer information. This is not good news.
It's not. On their dark web blog, the hackers said Happy Cybersecurity Day and then dumped the data. Now, Medibank said the data appears to be the stolen records from the health insurer, and it expects more to be released in coming days. Media reports say it's an enormous amount of information. It's not clear exactly what it shows as yet. Medibank said it would support customers, including mental health, wellbeing support, identification protection, and financial hardship measures. Now, class action law firm Morris Blackburn has already lodged a formal complaint with the Office of the Australian Information Commissioner. That organisation can order Medibank to pay affected customers.
Sean, story number 4. One of the most fascinating companies, I reckon, in Australia is Domino's Pizza. Because how about this one? They're raising $165 million to buy more pizza stores in Germany.
Yes. Now, Australia's biggest pizza chain first went to Germany 7 years ago, buying into a chain called Joey's Pizza, which certainly doesn't sound very Deutsche to me.
No,
anyway,
I would agree.
No. It then acquired a stake in Hallo Pizza, Hallo Pizza, also in Germany. Now Domino wants to buy out its joint venture partners in the 2 chains. Domino's now operates 412 outlets in Germany, and boss Don May said the country offers good long-term prospects. Domino's Pizza Enterprises, which is the formal name, now has the franchise rights to Domino's brand in a bunch of countries. It's a really global business. It operates 2,800 stores across Australia and New Zealand, Belgium, France, the Netherlands, Japan, Germany, Luxembourg, Denmark, and Taiwan. It's quite a multinational.
Yeah, it sure is. It's a really interesting company. Finally, Sean, story number 5. Look, this is a bit of an unusual story, but I tell you what, if there is one story that you hear today that you get to work and you say, I heard this on the Fast 5, it's going to be this one, because this is good news for Japanese school kids. They are going to be allowed to talk to each other at lunchtime once more.
Yes, the Japanese Education Ministry wants Japanese schools to drop COVID-era restrictions, which prevented students from talking to each other while eating lunch. Now, it released guidelines on how to facilitate conversations between students again. I kid you not, Michael, this is a true story. Japan has been successful in minimising the number of COVID-related deaths, but wow, what a cost. Kids can't talk to each other at lunchtime when they're having their lunch. Some restrictions still remain, including mask wearing indoors. Of course, tourists are only allowed back into the country in October. Now kids can talk to each other again while chomping down on lunch.
That's a very unusual story, but there we go. The top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Michael.
It's Friday, the 2nd of December, 2022. Remember to hit follow on the podcast, and if 5 minutes isn't enough for you, you can find our longer daily show called Fear and Greed wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm Michael Thompson, and that was the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed. Have a great day.